telling you a little bit about the model rocketry and what they are, and show you what we're going to do. And I have to be quick on this because we have a short time period. All right. So model rockets is what we're going to build. They're made out of cardboard, plastic, or paper. They have no substantial metal parts. This is a good example of one. This is the one that, like Joe and I built here, Trish and I built here once, right? And they started about 52 years ago. They started out in 1958 or so. And a shoe salesman from Nebraska, Orville Carlisle, got it. And he got a gentleman that was in the aerospace industry, a fellow by the name of G. Harry Stein, interested in it, and it became a safe way of exploiting rocketry. Heretofore, rockets were made out of metal, and if there was something unseemly happening, something untoward happening, then they would tend to blow up. And especially after October the 4th, 1957, when the Soviets launched Sputnik into space from Kazakhstan, lots of kids started to experiment with metal rockets, and there was lots of people that had injuries. So this is a safe way. Even the model rocket motor is made out of cardboard with a little bit of black powder in it. And it burns like a cigarette from the front end to the back end. The front end provides the thrust, and the back end deploys the recovery system. Okay? So that's a little bit about the age of these things. How many of you other than Joe have built these before? Austin and?
Jessica.
And Jessica. Okay, so that's it. So this will be a great experiment for you. And before I get any further on it and how we launch them and such, I need to know a little bit more about you all. So if you will please introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you're majoring in, please.
I'm Amanda, and I'm majoring in nursing.
Okay, well, welcome, Amanda. And how about you, Kevin?
Kevin, majoring in general studies.
All right. I'm going to write down names if I can't remember. And go ahead. Austin, go ahead.
My name is Austin.
Okay.
You already guessed that, huh? I'm just doing general studies too.
Mm-hmm. All right, Reba.
I'm Reba.
Oh, okay.
I'm studying elementary education at AT.
Excellent, excellent. All right, back row.
I'm Kelsey, and I'm studying criminal justice.
Okay.
I'm Kara, I'm in general studies as well.
Okay, let's go back up to the front. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Mika, and I'm majoring in mathematics.
Okay, great.
I'm Mark, I'm majoring in physical therapy.
Okay.
Joe Whitaker, engineering.
Jessica, biochemistry.
Wow, okay.
Jenkins, biochemistry.
What is that, Jenkins?
My major is biochemistry.
Biochemistry, all right.
And Sarah, elementary end.
Oh, great. All right. Here's how we launch these rockets. Basic parts are the fins. The fins on a rocket act like feathers do on an arrow. Keep the rocket true and straight in its path. If you didn't have fins on the rocket or feathers on an arrow, then when you shot your arrow into the air, it would flip around like a baton. So these are stabilization or guidance devices, okay? Nose cone is rounded so that it will penetrate the air better than a flat surface. How many of you, when you're in a car, just put your hand out flat to the wind? How many? Shame on you, you should never put your hands out. Okay, but by having it rounded, if you're going in the high Reynolds numbers where you're going supersonic, then you probably want a more pointed or conical type nose cone. For the low speeds, more of an ogive or gravel works better. And when it's completed, where'd my alpha go? Okay. A puff of hot gas pushes the nose cone off and deploys the recovery device. In this case, it's a parachute. And that retards the descent so that the rocket can come back down. The shroud lines on the parachute have a very interesting name. They're called shroud lines. And the shock cord is called what?
Shock cord.
Okay, all right, so that's a little terminology or lingo for this. It all comes down together, and you use these as carrier vehicles for many different types of applications. This one is like a class that we all built a couple of years ago. But you can build other rockets too. For example, here's a longer one of that I put together last night. We'll see if we can fly it. What makes this one unique is that it has a motion picture camera in it. So it'll take up at dizzying speed what's going on. And I bought this thing, it's like a gum stick. This is about the actual size of it. It takes about 45 minutes of people, you can hear it in the background yelling, where is that thing? They're looking for it for the grass. So here's a vehicle that has a purpose of carrying a cargo. Then here's one we'll also launch today. It doesn't use fins, it uses tubes. We'll see how that works, see if it'll stabilize it. Just a variety of practical experiments. When you're doing anything in engineering, you're trying to accomplish a purpose, and you're trying to do it minimizing risk. And so what we're going to be doing today is we're going to actually be doing a rocket that carries a payload and do it safely. And this is what our rocket's going to look like. It is not going to look like that. Okay. Ours is going to look like something like this. It is a payload rocket carrying a fresh hen's egg. Okay? And we'll put an egg in there and we'll tape it up and we'll send it out. If it works okay, this will come down by parachute. And this part will come down, let's think that. No, it'll come down with a parachute as well. Okay, that's the game plan. And those are different types of rockets. Then there's another one we're going to launch today. Obviously, this is a weird looking one. Looks kind of like maybe like a helicopter.
Thing to spin.
Yep. Cool. But you see these things bend down. And then I tie this all up with a string. And it goes up like this. And then these flip out, turns over, and comes down like that. Okay. So that's a different kind. And then you can do rockets. Oh my goodness, you can have multi-stages. I'm just showing you a variety of them. Here's a rocket that's kind of neat. It goes up like a rocket, but comes back like a glider. All right,
We'll never see it again.
this one I'm not going to launch. This one's only for display.
Because once that goes up and glides off somewhere, we're never going to see that.
Right, and that's been my experience. That's why I built my granddaughter and I built this one. And it goes up like this, and the game plan is that this part falls off, and when it falls off, nose cone comes out, streamer is deployed, and hopefully get this back, and this comes back in a blinding flash, okay? All right, so that's what it's going to do. I've got an unpainted one here that we will fly today. And just for variety, and do something different, this is not even made out of wood except for this spar. I made this all out of cardboard, took a box out of it. Just cut it. Don't do it. Waste too much. All right, so that's the game plan. And that's a little bit about the flight profile. And we only have about a half hour or so more to go, so what questions do you have before I go on? Pretty straightforward. You ready to do this?
Yes.
Hot dog, okay.
You do this fun, just out of random.
What?
You do this out of random, like fun.
Oh, can you tell them about yourself? I'm sorry, we didn't introduce you properly. My bad.
Yeah, you're fine, you're fine. My name is Old Ed is what they call me. I have been launching model rockets for a long time, more than 50 years. And I've been all over the world flying. I've been in Romania, and where else? Poland, and Ukraine, and Russia. Diane and I went to Yugoslavia back in 1972, and been to Kazakhstan several times. And I don't know, I haven't done everything, but I've seen them. I've just about seen everything with model rockets that you come back. It's been a long time. And so I started a rocket club about 47 years back, and it's still flourishing today. And I handed you all out flyers on the launches at the Goddard Space Flight Center. I started that program 35 years ago, 37 years ago, I guess now. And it's still flourishing. First Sunday of every month from 1 to 2, you come out and launch. So yeah, I do this for fun, and Raza asked me to come on out a couple of years ago, and it's worked out fine so far. So,
Ed, would you like to talk to him about your NARHAMs, please?
oh, if you want to join the club or anything like that, the website is narhams, narhams.org. And we launch a lot.
Any other questions before we launch into the rocket building? Cool to say that, launch into rocket building.
There you go.
Okay, guys, let's launch into rocket building.
Okay. I don't know how we're going to do it. Right? We have to do without that. All right. If you have that in there, what was the next step? Take some tape. I have a roll of Scotch tape on each table. So go ahead and tape it over the middle of it.
Tape.
Yep, that's right.
The whole around
Yep,
it?
that's right.
Yeah.
Bless you.
How much should we tape it?
Just around the middle.
Okay.
Well, we don't have any either.
You don't have any tape?
There. That's beautiful.
Here's some.
There you go. All right. Well, you have one there that had no tape in it.
No, it just was not functioning properly.
All right. All right, so we got that part done, right? Oh, Kevlar thread next. Okay, you got that? All right, next step is take the Kevlar thread and stretch it out. Unknot it.
The yellow one?
No.
There's more thread in here. No.
Yeah, it's the yellow thick thing.
Kevlar's yellow.
Right.
Smart stuff.
Everybody got that? Yeah, you got yours. Just how you doing, Jenkins?
Can I tape it?
No, you may not. Okay, you broke it, and that's it. I had 2 spares. So we'll do something else. Don't worry about that one. You want to get the
I'm waiting on you.
Kevlar. Joe, you got the Kevlar. All right. I'm going to borrow yours as an example. Okay. Yeah, should work.
Oh, cool, okay.
Overhand knot.
Now, I think the instructions say to make an overhand knot here and do it twice around the middle.
Don't break it, please.
It's always a possibility. So you just tie 2 granny knots here, named after a famous kind of apple.
Granny Smith.
Boy, yeah, I knew you didn't buy that. Jessica didn't buy that.
Can't do it.
All right, so that's what it looks like. I should have gotten yours first. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Try to.
Is it supposed to be loose?
For right now, yes.
Should we leave much slack on the other side?
Yes. Yeah, make it tight.
No, the tube.
Oh.
Can you hold it one?
Yes, ma'am.
I did this, but this.
Oh, because that's too much lead on.
Is this good?
I'll check in a second.
Can I just wash my cloth?
says thread
Just
away.
on a piece of paper. If you really try.
Not necessary. All that. Okay. That's good. Next one. How you doing, Joe? You're still trying to stay knotted?
Yeah, but
Okay.
no.
Great. Excellent. Hey, okay. All right, awesome. Okay. Yeah, all right, let me see yours then. Okay.
Or not?
In the aerospace industry, we call that peachy. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Oh, you already made this double knot in here?
Is that not good?
No, I was just gonna demonstrate it.
Oh.
Sorry, don't go with
Okay.
it.
All right. Then they wanted a figure 8 knot at the end here. So you can look at the illustration at the top of your page. But it looks like what you do is you loop it over. You make a double loop. Okay, you with me with this? Then with this thing double, you just go ahead and bring it around, under, and just tie a knot on it.
Can you tighten it all over?
Yeah, so what you end up with is a loop. I don't have any fingernails. Yeah, that's a good one. I like yours. Not too keen on mine, but I like yours. All right, so that's what you end up with. Yeah, you end up with a loop on there.
Right, I understand, I just don't know how to get my paper.
Okay. You did a good job with this.
Okay. And I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine, that's good.
I'm trying to untie the knot and move.
Use the pencil.
Oh, you time
Yeah, you just bring it around.
Did you just get it?
Through.
No.
You end up with a loop. Okay. All right, so we all got that part. We're gonna make the instruction. Just like-
It's not like this, is it?
Is it like that?
I just got that.
I don't think so. Didn't I do this?
Did you? No, that's mine.
Sure.
I got it screwed up.
I tried to fix it.
Maybe she screwed up.
It's like I tried to not.
There you go. Yeah, nice little loop there. All right, this is your shock cord. Instead of the big, like a big rubber band, God bless you. This one, this keeps the whole shebang together. This engine mount tube is going to go in the end of your rocket in a few moments. And that cord will keep it all together. You got yours, and you got yours. Good. Great. All right, pardon me. Next step. And I don't know what I did with the instructions, so I'm going to borrow yours, Mark. Ooh, they want a bead of white glue around the yellow mount tube on the pencil mark maiden step. That is 1/2 inch from the rear. So you're going to take one of your centering rings here. Let me use yours as an example. That's a 1/2 inch? Let me check. Yeah, I see how you got it there, okay. So you made a mark here on your engine mount tube, 1/2 inch. So you're going to put a small bead of glue all the way around. on the front. That's where the big hook sticks out. Oh, I can get it, Mark. See where it is there. Building rockets in the 13th century to repel the Mongol hordes coming from the west to the east to China. Whether you were doing work with Archimedes and his steam engine that whizzed around back in the ancient days of the Greeks, the same principles work for the space shuttle or newer model rockets here, and they were defined a long time ago by Sir Isaac Newton in, I think, about 1657. And as I recall reading this, and it's a fascinating biography, they called his school off. He was in Cambridge, and there was a case of plague going through the area. And so they said, well, let's hold school off until this thing passes. So he kind of got a 2-year sabbatical. He went to a relative's farm, and the legend is, you know, that he was sitting underneath a tree and an apple bonked him on his head, and he said, what happened, why is that? I don't know if that's just hearsay, but he did take the time to write his treatise in Latin, which was natural mathematical principles. You know, that was what he called it. And in there he described the 3 laws of motion. And they are the ones that make your rockets work, so I'm going to inflict on you now those 3 laws of motion, okay? And the first one was called the law of inertia. The law of inertia, he said, was that if you had something at rest, like this rocket, it would stay at rest continuously, unabated, for all time, until something made it move. Earthquake, janitor comes in, rocket takes off, something like that. Now, when it does go, a body in motion, a rocket moving, it will go in a straight line, and it will go continuously forever. Likewise, until it's acted upon by some force, such as hitting the ceiling, or can't quite get to the sun because gravity brings it down, or wind blows it. But that is a concept that, even though I'm an old man, for me it was a difficult one to wrestle with, because the principle is that it just keeps on going. And I just could never visualize that, because my experience in life has been things stopping. But the theory is that that's the way it worked. The first person to launch a liquid-fueled rocket, which brought us into this era, was a fellow by the name of, do you know his name?
Nope.
That wasn't his name. His name was Robert Hutchins Goddard. He launched the first liquid-fueled rocket on March the 16th, 1926. And okay, so that's less than 100 years ago. It's about 85 years ago, or so, 86 maybe now. And he said, okay, using that principle, I should be able to launch my rocket, and it should be able to go to the moon by the second principle, or the first principle of inertia and such. And people said, you've got to be kidding. Even physicists said it. Said once it gets out of the atmosphere, there's no air to push against. So therefore, the rocket couldn't possibly go to the moon. So within the last century even, this idea of inertia was not really understood, even by, it was not really accepted by some people. But that was the first law of motion, which is inertia. A body at motion will stay in motion in a straight line and continuously. All right? No problem with that. You got that one. The second one was changes in the body of motion, which he called the law of acceleration. And he said that the change in a body's motion is going to be directly proportional. Anytime you hear that word directly proportional, you know there's a mathematical function that's associated with it. But anyway, that was your key word. It's directly proportional to the force that's acting on it, the direction of the force, and the amount of force that's acting on it. So if this is going on a straight line, and gravity takes it and makes it come down, then it's going to be because of the amount of gravity and the direction that gravity is coming from. Another thing, they call space, when they go on the International Space Station, they don't normally call it a weightless environment. the true scientists and mission people aboard, they call it a microgravity environment. There's still a little bit of gravity. In fact, everything out in space has a gravitational field. It's hard to believe, but even a pencil would have a gravitational field. So if you've got a lot of little BBs or rocks or iron chondrites out in space and they're in proximity, eventually they will kind of accrete together, and we call those accretions the planet Earth, okay, or the moon. So we've got a lot of asteroids out there and such. They eventually, they generate a gravitational field too. So that was the second law of motion. The way they worked it out mathematically is they came out with a function which said that the force that's generated on something is equal to how big it is, its mass, times how fast it's traveling or its acceleration. So force equals mass times acceleration. So if you have a big, big object, but it's traveling very, very slow, it can have the same amount of force as a little teeny object traveling very, very fast. In some of my other classes, I talked about my friend Speed Bump. I was going to tell you his name, but I suspect that Raza is recording this, so we'll just call him Speed Bump. But he was working on his Volkswagen minibus, and he was working underneath it. He attached 2 wires, and Joe had started up, and the minibus proceeded to, was in gear, to roll over him, much to his chagrin, and then down the driveway. And it must have been excruciating because it was going like a half a mile an hour. Can you imagine being underneath this thing and seeing what's going on? And then you know it's going to crash into the neighbor's house. So he got up, not worrying about fear or what would happen to him, ran down the driveway and jumped in there and stopped it. And then at that point he decided to check, ribs and everything. Well, it had a lot of mass, but it was traveling so slow that it had very little force on him. Okay, but if you could take a little piece of metal, just say half an inch, maybe an inch long, and make it travel several hundred feet a second, they have a name for it. They call it a bullet. And those things go. And you have to worry about bullets out in space. We have 5 spaceships that are traveling around the Earth now called in the A train. It has nothing to do with Duke Ellington. But they all follow the same orbit. And one looks at ice, and one looks at land mass, and one looks at sea. And they all have different purposes, and they have different spectra that they look at. But since they're in the same orbit, they pass over the same area at the approximate same time. And so they call this a train, in the A train. And every now and then we track pieces of space debris, and the space debris, it comes in there. We have to elevate that entire train of spacecraft so it doesn't hit one of these little things like a fleck of paint, Jenkins, can put a hole through the space shuttle window. So that you really have to watch it. Small objects traveling very fast exert a lot of force. And those are a couple of examples. Let me pause. You guys probably know this. How fast does an object have to travel in order to stay above the Earth in orbit?
So we all
Well, the answer is 18,000 miles an hour. You work it out, that comes out to 5 miles a second. You could be back at home in 3 seconds or less. Except for Diana and I, we have to travel how long? 7 seconds, huh? 8 seconds?
Ooh, an extra 4 seconds.
Yeah, something like that. So anyway, so enough of that. That's the second law of motion. And there will be a quiz, by the way. And the third law of motion is, for every force there's an opposite and equal opposing force, or for every action there's an opposite and equal reaction. So I guess if you had to put it all together, this will stay on the launch pad until it's acted upon by some force, and that's in case that what happens here is the rocket ignites. When the rocket ignites, gas is expelled out of the back end of the paper here. The back end of the paper is bell-shaped, has a nice little nozzle. It expands the speed of the gas, making it travel faster, and that exerts the change of direction and the force to make the rocket go up. And as it goes up, You have an action here, that's the reaction. All right, that's putting all three of them together.
In class, well, why doesn't it just go on forever? What is that force that's gonna make it come back down? That's why you end up with.
Right. Okay. Trish, anything? Oh, I don't want to push that.
I was gonna say, I don't think anything that, that point that gravity and then acceleration makes us have that parabolic function to how it goes up
Yeah.
and back down again.
Now, what makes a rocket stable? Let me just do that one other thing about stability on a rocket, and then we'll get back to building it. I'm using this time to fulfill, I feel kind of an obligation to give you some mathematical or scientific background in here, as well as let the glue dry, okay? So that's the game plan. The other thing is rocket stability. When I came in here, Kevin was fascinated with finding the center of gravity on his ruler, okay? So this is where all the moment arms, or all the weight seems to be concentrated, is where at the center of gravity. This is where all gravity is pulling us down, right at that point. It's equally balanced. Okay. When a rocket flies, it has another center of gravity that works on it, but it's not gravity, it's an aerodynamic area where all the aerodynamic forces seem to be centered or pressurized, and they call that the center of pressure. Now, it turns out that there's a relationship between the center of pressure and the center of gravity. The center of pressure, to have a rocket stable, has to be below the center of gravity. Well, let me stop. What does the word stable mean? What I'm talking about is a stable rocket. What am I talking about? Tell me. What?
It's one that's going to go where you want it to, have
Yeah,
a straight trajectory.
Yeah,
not
straight
just go
trajectory.
wherever.
Right, and not act crazy, okay? That's true. I think in physics, they use the example, if you take a bowl and you put a marble on the edge of the bowl, eventually it will find itself in the center of the bowl and it finds a stable point, it doesn't move. But if you turn that bowl upside down and you put the marble on the top of the bowl, you don't know which side is going to fall, and you don't know which side is going to go. It's unstable. It may have started out as a physics term, but we use that in other parlance now. When you talk about a person that acts erratically, you say, well, that person is unstable. And people don't like unstable people. Why is that? Why don't they like unstable people?
Because they're crazy.
Well, that's maybe because you don't know what they're going to do, right? And you don't know, so you don't want to be around somebody that might do something that might hurt them or other people. So likewise, we want stable rockets. If your center of pressure was up here, then your rocket would be unstable. It would tend to turn around. If it's below the center of gravity, then the fins will make corrections to that change in motion. That center of pressure is dynamic as well. It isn't just at one spot. As the rocket moves, it loses mass because rocket fuel is being used up. Consequently, the center of pressure moves around a little bit too. Just something. All right, well that's a little bit about center pressure, center gravity, and enough of me chit-chat, okay? Are there any questions? Very well, I want to put it right in this hand, no tricks, and it went back on that hand.
Well, what?
Now I'll show you how I did it.
All right, no,
It's a trick ring.
Come over here. Come over here and do it.
You know, both sides.
What?
Okay. All right. Or look, I mean, I got put it right on that hand.
No, what? Wait, hold on, can I see the other side?
Yeah, it's a trick ring. You'll find it out.
Fantastic.
Crunch time.
Best damn launch ever if I don't believe it.
I get the feeling that first one's going to go off cockeyed.
Are we going to get to hit the button? Is that your job? Yeah, that's my job, but I'll tell you what. For time constraints, let me do it. Number one is Jenkins rocket, all right?
Okay, that's going to
You ready? 5. Help me count. 4. 3. 2.
It's going to go that way.
Launch.
Whoa!
Jenkins?
All right, Jenkins, bring back the nose cone. Quick. Bring it back right here.
What's in the nose cone?
That's not quick, Jenkins.
Come on, Jenkins.
Yeah, when I saw it launching, when I saw the angle of it, I was like, oh boy, oh my gosh, this is gonna be interesting.
What was in the nose cone? An egg?
Open it up and show it to people.
Don't be number 1.
Is it leaking?
Or number 2. Number 2.
Don't open it up.
Don't open it, Jenkins.
Take it off.
It's leaking.
Jenkins' egg is dead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you keep these rockets.
Yes.
Courtesy of the study club. Who's on 2? All right, Kevin. All right, Kevin, here we go. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch.
Whoa.
Hello, went far.
Okay, shoot deployment. No, that's a dead egg. That's a dead egg.
No.
Wow.
You do not get to live. There's something up there. I think it's just paper. Chris.
But wait, you guys can catch your rockets too before it falls.
Oh, I want to do that. Who's rocket?
Okay.
I am doing that.
Yeah, cheat the system.
3.
Rocket number
And you are Amanda, all right?
Josh.
Okay, Amanda, you're gonna catch your rocket, right?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch.
Incoming!
Look out below.
Okay, Amanda, catch it.
Come on. You got this.
No, maybe not. Got so cool.
All right, number 4.
Okay, you're gonna catch it, right?
Reba.
Reba gonna catch it?
Rocket's ready to roll.
Take it now.
I only say that because
Okay, you catch it.
ours there. All right, she wants to catch 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch.
Okay, Reba, go for it.
You got this. Oh, look at that. That one's coming down beautifully.
Come on, Reba.
Got this.
See?
Great.
I love the cloud of smoke that's just hanging. Yeah.
Okay, who's 4?
Who's 5?
Who's 5? Austin, you have to catch it too? Wait, 2 Austins.
Now he says this is going to snafu. He says it's going all over the sky. Let's see. 5.
I have a tendency for
4. Didn't you have a non-smoking policy in school? 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch.
Oh my God! I told you! Oh my God!
We have a challenge.
I just had a heart attack.
As advertised.
How many of you know Challenger space shuttle? That was a Challenger.
I don't know.
How many of you want to be more closer to the launch pad?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. Oh my God.
Yeah, I
I
know.
was in elementary school when that happened.
I was right.
Hey, Austin, when you put it on, was it tough to get it over that?
No, it was easy.
Look, my egg's still home.
I
Is
just
it?
had a heart attack. Oh my God.
Correct?
I have a full egg.
I think the yolk's on us. I think the egg's still there.
Is it cooked?
It's good.
How about the other ones? Kevin, how about yours?
Oh, so I don't get it. Oh, okay. Well, I was right.
Shake it.
Smells like eggs though.
Oh, you didn't check? Go ahead, check. Let me know. Okay, who's 6?
6 is 7.
Okay, you want to catch it, right?
Where's
You want
Sarah?
to catch it?
I was right.
Come on. Oh, somebody catch it for her. Who wants to catch it? Okay, Josh.
All right.
Doesn't it
Here
catch
goes 6. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch.
Wow.
That's pretty far.
Okay.
Alright, that's coming out.
Heads up!
Oh, the egg is up.
I think that was great. Now, we got to get 6 more people.
Second group, on out you go. Come on, Jess.
Go on out there.
It's so good. I kind of want to go home.
Wait a second. You wanted help with yours, right?
Yeah, but I'm just letting
Let me see what. I don't want the bin falling off.
Alright.
Yeah, that's good.
Paper straws just in case.
So, do we have to stay for the rest of it, or is that classroom still open? It's all
I'm going. I'm out.
Yeah, the classroom's still open.
I saw it angled towards us.
And something happened to Austin's, I don't know, but we've been really successful, I think. So I want you all to give yourselves a big
a hand at this time, because I'm impressed with you all. I think you guys got... that includes Ozzy. That includes Ozzy. All right.
Okay, guys, you're going to catch the rockets now.
All right. Who's on one? And help me.
Mika's catching hers.
You haven't changed your name yet. All right. So Kara's still Kara. All right. So here goes Kara's rocket on one at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it's fire! Alright. Oh, it's on fire.
I might have to use the flapper. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out why that happened.
Kara, go get your rocket. I told you it would be a YouTube moment.
What if mine doesn't work? It seems so bad.
Mika's just gonna like not even move. It's not gonna fall out the platform. It's just gonna like show you.
Was it to the parachute build?
It's a collaboration of 3 people right there. Where's Professor Burnett?
Huh? The whole day.
I don't know, they had to tape straws to mine, so I'm a little worried about that.
Sarah, what happened?
I'm a little worried about the straws tape.
I failed at rocket building.
Raza, I do not know why that happened.
What happened?
All right, who's on 2?
Yes.
Okay, are you going to catch your rocket?
I don't know, I guess.
You should.
Chelsea?
Okay.
Chelsea, right?
Kelsey.
Kelsey, okay. Still Casey with K?
Okay.
All right, Kelsey. When they launched the space shuttle, they anticipated that they would have like 100 flights of the space shuttle a year out of the fleet of 4, and then eventually went, yeah. So what happened is after the Challenger accident and then the Columbia, they found that, okay, you can't, maybe we go to space regularly, but it's still not a routine type of thing. After a 30-year launch pattern from 1981 to 2011, that's 30 years, isn't it? They had only 135 of them. So doing these things, this is fun, it's recreational, but you still, that's why we're 20 feet away or so. We want to be safe. Model rocketry is educational, you can learn a lot, but you still have to use the safety component. Enough said, now I go to Kelsey's rocket on rail 2 at 5.
Okay, Kelsey, you're going to catch
4,
one.
3, 2, 1, launch.
You win.
Hey! Wow, Kelsey.
Good shoot performance.
Her shoots
Is
open.
she the pro from Dover? I mean, has she done this before? Those are beautiful.
And she missed it.
Whoa, good job.
Wow.
Man.
Fantastic. That was great.
Yes, you are.
You don't get the points. You don't get the points.
0 points if you don't catch
If you
it.
miss it.
Rail 3.
If you miss it, you get no points.
3. Go.
Mika?
Mika, go front.
All right.
You're catching it, Mika.
Roz is giving credit and taking away credit. Should you make it interesting and make her carry the flapper too? All right, here goes Mika's rocket. On
Mika?
rail 3 at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
Okay, go, Mika. Mika, go. Mika, go.
Actually, no, get the point.
Bam! 0 points. Whatever.
Okay, second shoot did not deploy, but
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It kind of melted out.
Fantastic. Yeah, see what happens. The same way with the
Blue didn't set.
Kelsey's rocket. This thing popped out of here instead of blowing that out there.
okay, so that's my mistake.
Not bad.
Not adequate. Glue head not adequately dried. Okay, yeah, let's check her egg. All right, Mika's going to check her egg. I'm not going to stand underneath her. Yeah, put her right on your feet.
It lives! It's because I packed it good, that's why.
Here, there's the rest of your rocket. All right, but yet, there's
Mika,
still more of this
take a
stuff.
picture with the egg.
Who's
No,
on
hold on,
4?
let me finish this then.
All right, Mike, right? Mark.
Okay, Mark, no pressure. Your sister can do it, so can you.
This one's going to be awesome, and I'll tell you why. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, you got to push the button. That was a little joke on Mark. All right, so here we go now for real. At 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
Better than Mika.
Okay, Mark.
Not one. And there it goes.
Whoa! Awesome. Good job, Josh.
Ready?
Destroyed. It actually worked. Come on, Josh.
I'll take a picture later, okay?
5
With
is
you and Mark.
Jessica.
Jessica. Okay.
Don't break the
President
egg.
of STEM Club. current president of STEM Club, so.
All right. Any parting words, Jessica, as the leader of the group?
I'm very sorry for killing you all.
Appreciate it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, launch.
Whoa!
All right.
Okay, Jessica, it's yours.
Yeah, I think you get to stay president.
All right.
I always like launching rockets at moonlight, don't you?
Didn't see it there, sorry.
All right. Did it live?
Okay.
I'll take a
one
picture
last
later.
rocket.
Okay. Whoops, sorry.
Who had the last rocket?
Who are the last one? Okay, Joe.
This is yours, Joe? Yeah. All right, Joe, you get to do honors. Oh, I'll do it first. All right. This is Joe's rocket. This is the last one. All right, so let's give a big countdown there. You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, you know, that was a good countdown, but I know that Carroll College can do a better countdown than that. Let's do it again, a lot louder. Let's bring up the decibels. Crank, 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 crank. Here you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Launch. Whoa. Yeah!
All right, I got 2.
Run, Josh! Run, Josh, run!